This was Nadine Dorries speaking back in July.
Morning. So I think you're here to tell us which candidate you're going to be backing.
Well, I'm going to be backing Liz Truss. I've sat with Liz in Cabinet now for some time. I'm very aware that she's probably a stronger Brexiteer than both of us. Has consistently argued for low tax policies. And I'm particularly concerned about the 14 million people who voted for a manifesto and voted for a government, that the candidate that we select, and for me it's Liz who I'm going to back, will continue with those manifesto promises and will continue to deliver for the government and for the Conservative Party moving forward.
That was July. This is Nadine now. So she tweeted, widespread dismay at the fact that 3 years of work has effectively been put on hold. No one asked for this. Channel 4 sale, online safety, BBC licence fee review, all signed off by Cabinet, all ready to go and all stopped. If Liz wants a whole new mandate, she must take to the country. I like BBC licence fee review. She was clearly very, very angry when she was bashing out that tweet. Of course, it's worth noting, Nadine is right on one thing. There should be a general election. Liz Truss has no mandate for what she's doing. She is completely wrong on everything else in that tweet. So there's a great response to this from Leo Watkins, who's a media and communications academic. So he wrote, no one asked for this. Neither the privatisation of Channel 4 nor the end of the TV licence fee were in the 2019 Tory manifesto. And the consultation on Channel 4 saw about 95% of responses opposed to it. Even Tory voters are against it. So the thing that Nadine Dorries is critiquing Liz Truss for dumping her unpopular policies. She's saying, you have no mandate. Nadine had no mandate to do this. Neither does, Liz has as much mandate to dump them as Nadine Dorries had to push them through in the first place.
I just feel like this isn't stopping. I genuinely thought in 2019, we'd had this incredible period of political volatility in this country from say 2015 or 2014, even maybe the Scottish independence referendum, but 2015 through to 2019. And I did think that was the end of it. I didn't want it to be the end of it, right? I wanted a Labour government in 2019, but I did feel like it was conclusively the end of it. And it's not. It's not. And things just get more and more chaotic. And so, of course, I want a general election. I don't want a Tory government. But I do wonder, what would come out of that? And would that be more chaotic? It seems quite plausible. Is that necessarily the answer to everything? I don't know. And I also would want a Labour government led by Starmer. That's what's happening right now. To actually have ironed out a few more policies than it presently does. I wouldn't be particularly confident in them having a transformational sort of agenda for government right now. Hopefully that'll be a little bit more worked out in 18 months' time. Imagine if we had a general election and there wouldn't be a hung parliament. Labour would absolutely smash it. But if you had these circumstances in a hung parliament, then things would be even worse, yes. We have had, at least from Johnson and Truss, this is the irony of all of it, Michael, two of the biggest post-war fiscal interventions in regards to the furlough scheme and now this energy intervention from the Truss government. Incredible. Just, free market sort of right-wing conservatives, even when they want to have less state, they just can't do it right now. That's a whole other conversation. Because the moment we live in, because of geopolitics, the climate crisis, inequality, and the political pressures that creates, you can't do it anymore. Particularly in Britain, where we've no longer got North Sea oil. So trying to imitate the 1980s is a fool's errand. But I don't know, Michael. A general election, yes, it would be good. You'd get a Labour government coming in. You'd have Rachel Reeves in number 11. You would still have a sovereign debt crisis. You still have rising costs of borrowing. You would still have international markets and big banks basically saying to Labour, you have to impose austerity. That's what would happen. I do kind of worry, actually. Sometimes people think the fundamentals are being determined by 10 Downing Street and the government of the day. No, the fundamentals are we're a low productivity, low growth economy. And actually, under this paradigm, things aren't going to get better for most people for quite a while. I don't mean that to be depressing. That should actually spur us to have a much more ambitious kind of objective in mind. I do, at the moment, think that Labour would broadly govern like the Tories. Somewhat better, obviously. They certainly wouldn't be doing what we saw last week with regards to precipitating a collapse of domestic pension funds and the declining pound sterling. But I think we need more than that.